going here? I'm going to draw a border, and so I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm going to put a 1/2 inch. So halfway between 0 and 1, I'm going to put a tick mark on the edge of the paper. Notice that the ruler goes to the edge, and that ensures that it's measuring the edge, okay? The artwork is 4 by 5, so I'm going to take it to 4.5, and then I'm going to slide the ruler up and do 0 to, so 1/2 inch, and then 4.5, and then I'm going to connect. Now the reason I am measuring twice is to ensure that I get a straight line. Most of the time, students want to measure just from one side, and then their borders are crooked, okay? Also, I want to ensure that these artworks are only 4 by 5, okay? We have a 4 by 5 art contest, actually, starting. We have to submit all the works on Friday. I don't assume we're going to make it this year, but maybe next year you could enter yours if it's good enough, right? And you're happy with it. So we're going to have a 1/2 inch border all the way around. Now my paper, I can see, is a little crooked. Okay, can you guys see that? When I cut these, I cut tons of them all at one time. So that's one of the reasons why I take the ruler and I slide it up to measure it rather than just turning it on different directions. I just slide it up because that will ensure that it's straighter. Okay, straighter. Because this can be straight even if the edges are not straight. Okay, so what pencil would be good to do the border in? Yeah. 4H. You could do 4H, you could do HB. But whatever you choose to use, draw lightly. Okay, draw lightly. So you're going to start with your border. Then what you're going to do is you're going to start by drawing in your big shapes first. Okay, you're going to start by drawing in your big shapes. And you could do this a number of ways. You could draw it all out and then shade. But I know that that's a little confusing. Okay, so if you want to do it like I have it on this one, make sure that you have a really good plan. Okay, make sure you have a really good plan. So I could almost like paint by number if I wanted. Layer 1 is white. Layer 2 is light gray. Layer 3 is medium gray. Number 4 is dark gray. And you can also have a 5 and a 6 and make them get darker and darkest, right? So it's up to you on how many layers you go. 4 is mandatory. Okay, you cannot go under 4. We want to have 4 different values. So if you're going to do it like I did it here, make sure that you have it labeled. So I have label 1, 2, 3, 4. And I've done that for myself in all of the different sections. That's okay, right? It's okay to do it that way, but make sure you set yourself up with success if you're going to do it that way. If not, okay, what you can do is draw your first set of shapes, and this is where I need you to be paying attention because people who started yesterday forgot about good technique and good craftsmanship, okay? When I'm shading in this first shape, I have to go really light. Where do I hold the pencil? Mabel? At the end. So I'm using, this is the 4B pencil. I was using the HB pencil, and I'm going to hold it kind of far back, and I'm going to shade in a consistent direction. So can you guys see how I'm almost shading with like, this is kind of like radiating out like the sun? I'm going to be shading in a constant direction. If I start changing direction, it's going to look patchy. So if I start going like this and like this, it's going to look like a Mod Podge and it's not going to look smooth. So I'm going to move fast up and down, right? And I'm going to move slowly as I pull it to the right or pull it to the left. I want to make it as consistent, as smooth as possible without smudging, okay? You can just make it a nice soft gray. You could also, if you wanted to, get fancy. I can cross shade it and have a gradation. So I can make it a little bit darker and then have it go lighter and lighter and lighter as it moves out. But this still has to stay relatively light. Okay? So we want to make sure this first layer, right, is really, really light. And then I can start working on my level 3, or see my level 3 and my level 4. You guys see it? 3 and 4. We need to have value changes from white, light, dark, medium, and dark gray. Okay? So we want to make sure that we're taking our time and doing a good job. Craftsmanship matters. That's the whole reason we're doing this assignment, is we're practicing technique one more time. Okay? Before we start to make a still life and make it look real. Okay? Questions and concerns?